Now, welcome back. And as we continue to celebrate 30 years of democracy, we continue to shine a light on South Africans that have played such a pivotal role in putting South Africa on the map. And you'll remember, this is from the arts to sports, entertainment, every facet of our lives. And this morning, we are joined, I'm so excited, by the renowned actor, producer, composer. This man is the Lion King, Lebo Morake himself, who has, of course, been with us, and we've seen him over the years, born in Soweto, spent years working hard in South Africa before he went into exile in 1979. And of course, as I say, he is Mr. Lion King, arranged, performed music for the Lion King movies, the stage productions, and of course, recommended to Disney by Hans Zimmer, and the score composer of the Lion King, and he was later hired to form and conduct the African choir that sang for the movies. And just most recently, Lebo took center stage in Hollywood at Hollywood Bowl's 30th anniversary celebration of the Lion King concert. Can you believe it? 30 years already. And the 30th anniversary event brought together a star-studded cast, including some of the original voices of the 1994 The Lion King animation cast, and special guest appearances by Jennifer Hudson and Northwest. Lebo, such an absolute honor to have you here with us.
Absolutely happy to be back with you. Thank you for having me.
It's 30 years.
Time flies. I can't relate to 30 years. I'm more about, okay, let's go another 30 years.
But do tell, when people speak to you, is it like I feel like you are Mr. Lion King? Like when there's more to Lebo, of course, but listen, the Lion King.
Well, it is the biggest property and the biggest project in my career, and I don't have a problem being associated with the work, especially when you now start counting the milestones. We are in the key centers of entertainment in the world. We have very successful arena tours. We just sold out now, me and Hans. As just announced, Europe we did. We just did, we're about to do America. That's sold out already. That's the arena. On Broadway in London, we have about 7 productions that have been sitting in one place, making us the longest running African content on Broadway and in London, Germany, everywhere else. And in each of these properties, we have South Africans. We'll probably employ more South Africans around the world in stages that are earning foreign currency. That makes me very happy to get to now. Then we have the movies. You know, we've done all Lion Kings from day one, literally, until now. We've entered. See, I'm starting to feel it now because we've come full circle from the first Lion King. We have been working, while I'm on tour, I've been working on a new movie, Mufasa. So I won't get away from it. And the exciting thing about doing the movie Mufasa is it's a prequel. So it allowed and gave me the opportunity to write a whole new beginning. So if we've had Nansi Ngonyama for 30 years, the new beginning of The Lion King is led by a new song I wrote called Ngomso. So you have this iconic South African brand that the world knows, Nansi Ngonyama. Literally December 20th, when Mufasa has released a whole new beginning that's never been heard before by the world, will lead the next 30 years, we hope, which is a song I wrote and produced called Ngomso.
You know, I remember when The Lion King was showing in theaters here in South Africa, it broke all records.
Yes. We still hold the biggest sales at the Monte Casino. We opened that theater. And in fact, that's a very historical journey because it was the 10th year of the Broadway show. And it was the first time. It took me a long time to convince Disney that we can do an entire show with South Africans. As a result, past The Lion King South Africa that I produced, we hired more South Africans in other areas because before that we were hiring singers and actors. Now we have people that have been working Lion King wardrobe since 2008. They are around the world doing wardrobe for other Lion Kings. We have other principal roles other than Rafiki that are played by South Africans around the world on Broadway productions. So we're very happy with the journey so far.
You know, I was privileged enough to be at that Monte Casino opening,
Yes.
and it was the most spectacular thing I had ever seen.
It still remains the only all-black production, all South African production in history, produced by a black South African. So,
And just going through it, and you can imagine the work that went into that,
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
all the preparation, because I was sitting there in total awe
Thank you.
as it was all unfolding, and I can't help but wish that we could have that for our children and grandchildren.
yeah, well, we hope, right now the focus is on Mufasa, and we hope that that also gets translated into the Broadway production. Well, I do other movies. I did music for The Woman King. I do so many other properties and so many other movies, but the Lion King is my love and my passion, because we're part of the DNA of the Lion King, and I'm able to extend a broader platform for South Africans because of the Lion King property on stage, on Broadway, and in arenas. Right now, I just brought in, for the first time since we've been doing the Hans Zimmer Live, we've added 10 South Africans, 12 actually, which has never happened. They're about to do a US tour with us. We've been doing that arena tour for like 7 years now. So we just employed 10 more South Africans in foreign currency into the US tour, and I'm pretty sure they will stay there, because we've created a process where we're able to always open opportunities for South Africans. I had Judith Sepuma as our guest. Then I brought in Nogukanya Dlamini on the other tour. Now we have this privilege of hiring 12 South Africans to do a US tour with us, which I know will extend to something else, because what we'll do in that tour, arena tour, we plan to make it very spectacular. So it's not easy for people to say we can't have him back.
Oh, man. And you know, we listen to all of this success, and it's an ongoing success story of Lebo M. But Lebo M, born in Soweto. It's your birthday, by the way, next week.
Yeah, they say I turn 60 on Wednesday. I don't know what that means.
Listen, you don't look it, you don't sound it, it's true. You're only as old as you feel.
I love it. I still have the energy to drive another 60 years. I'm from Tladi, Soweto. I left home alone at age 16 and went to exile. And 30 years later or so, I'm grateful for the journey. The hardships has not been easy. There's a lot of wars in the boardrooms, a lot of wars in rehearsal rooms, a lot of wars in studios, but your inspiration is, I was asked now in New York, what was the inspiration for the lyrics I wrote for The Lion King, which was the first time in a long time. Say, when I did The Lion King in 1994, everything I wrote lyrically, literally translate to everything that was happening in my country. When I wrote the lyrics, Ndaba Zita, Nkosi Yethu, Busa Lelizwe, I was not looking at the lions. I was looking at Mandela becoming the first black president. So this journey of our property and democracy lyrically is all so intertwined. So it's not easy to reflect on it as 30 years. It just feels like yesterday, because it's all personal. The journey of Simba is my journey. I went to exile, a young person, came back a professional home. He went to exile and came back, and I didn't take over any, I'm not a king, I didn't take over any country. So the point is, one is able to now, as a personal, professional journey, I'm very happy, but I'm also very happy and proud as a South African, because I'm part of two journeys. My country, that makes me, made me, invented me, everything I am in my career is because I'm South African. At the same time, I get to celebrate the rebirth of a country. Literally, less than a week ago, there's a new president, and there's a new cabinet, there's a new everything that's happening. So it's great to be part of something so personal in your professional life and your personal life and feel good about it.
So I wish we had more time to delve deeper into exactly how the story unfolds. But over the past 30 years of this democracy, you're coming back to South Africa from exile. What would you say were your highlights of South Africa's last 30 years?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Let me see. I think my highlights of our country and the journey is the ability for South Africans to always reinvent ourselves especially in hard times, when the world looks back and shuns on us. We're the kind of people and the kind of nation that's able to reinvent itself. That's on a personal level. I mean, if you look at the events of the last week or so in this country and how I happen to have the privilege of being in both countries where all these changes are happening, so I'm able to reflect on both. I know for a fact that the energy around the world just before this new dispensation is very similar to just before 1994. That all hell is going to break loose and they're going to kill each other. Black people are going to kill white people are going to kill black people. What is the outcome of that? It's just the last week alone is actually we have transformed ourselves as a new society again. And yet, when you look at events happening around the world, the United States, elections, the UK, you don't have a journey like South Africa. So I hope one day we're able to reflect as a nation and be proud that through trial and tribulation and through hardships, we are somehow able to come out. And in my professional life, I think the highlight of my last 8 years is not only motivating and bringing the Lion King to South Africa, is producing the opening and closing ceremonies of the FIFA World Cup 2010.
Oh, yes.
2010, and everything else that comes after that. Wasn't easy, there was war everywhere, but we did it, and it's still talked about extensively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, that prequel, Mufasa, when is that set to be released?
Mufasa comes out December 20th.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
It's going to be amazing.
yeah, I know we will be ready
front row
waiting.
seats,
Front row.
always.
Look
It
forward
is
to that one.
such a pleasure.
It's scary because it's a huge change. It took quite a lot to convince everyone that I'm not going back unless we change the beginning. So to go from Nansi Ngonyama to something new, and I wrote this one specifically in Xhosa because it's dedicated to my mother. My mother just turned 100 years this year.
Oh,
so it's like a full circle.
Happy birthday.
I'm 60, my mother's 100 years. We're celebrating 30 years of the Lion King with a new Lion King property, December 20th, Mufasa. It's come full circle. So Ngomso will be the new thing. You go from Nansi Ngonyama to Ngomso. Sure. It's going to be funny because it's going to be like, oh, wow. I actually spoke the title of the new Lion King movie for the first time here.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, brilliant. You heard it first here on Morning Live.
It's one of those, you heard it first. It's actually true because a year from now, when Mufasa is the biggest thing in the world, it will be the beginning.
Oh, it's so incredible. Every time you make an appearance, you make us so proud to be South African.
Thank you.
Every single time. There's never a moment where you sort of see Lebo M and don't get proud. I mean, that moment we saw you also performing, I think it was when the West End cast was performing for the Lion King, and it was at the Platinum Jubilee I mean, when you walked out and you did that line, it was like, here we go again. The goosebumps and everything. You give us goosebumps just by being you.
Thank you very much.
We know Mufasa is going to be great because everything that Lebo M touches turns to gold. You had the Lion King, the 2010 World Cup on African soil for the first time. Opening, closing ceremonies. It was this man. And now, December 20th, Mufasa, you heard it first here on Morning Live. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence.
Always a pleasure.
That was Lebo M taking us on a journey there and telling us about the prequel, Mufasa, that's coming up.